How's everybody doing this morning or today, depending on when you watch this? You know, at Rideshare Reflections, I pride myself on giving you guys a wide scope of material while still sticking to the theme of rideshare, of being in the streets, of the things that I see when I'm working. So today, I'm going to tell you about a story. It's a little bit gruesome, so if you're kind of squeamish, you know, you can back out of this one if you want. So here we are in DC, and if you don't know, DC has a street named after every state in the union. All right, so some in good areas, some in not so great areas. Here we have Minnesota Avenue, which is not in the greatest of areas. Down the street, down that way, is where somebody got shot right behind my back. I actually made a video about it, and it's on the page. It's called Hell at Shell. That happened right down the street from here. What I'm going to talk about today is a bit of a different situation, but still sad nonetheless. For the people who are from DC, just to help you figure out where you're at, there's DTLR right there. There's Rainbow. So one time I had picked up a passenger. At that time, they were doing construction right here between the building where DTLR is located and between this building right here. By the way, there's a nice mural of Toni Morrison right there. But so this area right here was had construction going on. So I picked up my passenger here at DTLR. You see, it's kind of narrow here to make a U-turn, and all the parking lots, all the parking spaces were full that day. So the only way for me to turn around was to go in the back here, make a U-turn, and come back out. So that's what I was doing. I picked up the passenger. We were heading back here to make the U-turn. When you get around back, as you can see, there's a ledge right here. So we were coming down here, again, going to the back of the building, down to this area right here to make a U-turn and come back out. Now this shelf right here, a lot of homeless people stay here. You can see where they've burned. I think they had a fire going to help stay warm, because obviously with all this concrete, it's going to get pretty cold in here. So I go down, I saw something here. I didn't really pay attention to what it was. So I went down to the back. So we make the U-turn. We're starting to come back up. And I said, what the hell is that on that shelf? So we slowed up, and what was here was a man laying dead. He was just about right here, and he was laid out. He died with his eyes open. And the sad thing about it is flies were eating his eyes. His shirt was so full of blood that it was actually crispy. You can tell where the person had grabbed him, and his shirt actually still had the wrinkles in it, and it was frozen in that position. I say frozen, but it was really, you know, dried blood. So, I mean, usually the rules of the street are that people don't mess with homeless people. And so that leads me to believe that it was probably another homeless person who did it. So I call the police like I usually do. That's one thing about me. When I see something, when I see some kind of drama going on, somebody being victimized, somebody just got killed, or somebody in a situation similar to this gentleman, I call the police. But likewise, I always leave too, because I don't want to be there when the police get there. But anyway, that's what we saw. I believe it was a Saturday afternoon. Not a lot of people come down here, so I can't say that everybody was just driving past and ignoring him, but you know, somebody had to be honest with you, somebody had to. And maybe they thought he was sleeping. But again, the sight that really messed with me is the sight of his eyes being open and flies being in his eyes. He couldn't have been dead for too long, because I didn't smell anything. So it had probably happened that morning. And life goes on, especially in this area.